Hey guys, so I thought I'd make my first pond build video, and obviously as I put the pond in, um, I'll kind of update this on a regular basis. But I thought I'd just show you the raw site as it exists at the moment. So this is straight off the front of the house. We're doing a lot of renovations on this house at the moment to get it up to scratch. But the area kind of in front of us is way bigger than what it looks. So essentially what will happen, if I walk down here, we've got a braai larper in the corner there. So, and I'll go to that braai larper now so we can actually see where some of the build is going to take place, and you can look back at the house. So this section here, the width essentially, there you can see the width. So the width is pretty much just from past this pillar to this pillar here. So that's 6 meters worth of width. There you can see the house. It's busy getting renovated and sorted out on that side here. Both those stumps that you can see in the ground, massive pine tree stumps, are coming out. So we're going to get a digger loader to take them out. Then we've got a larper area here that will basically have seating, and will be basically backing up to the pond. I'll have a pond window in here that you can actually sit in the larper and look down into the pond itself. The length of this larper is about 6 meters. So the pond itself is going to continue for another 2 meters that way. So essentially what we'll have is 6 meters by 8 meters. So just slightly rectangular in terms of shape, but out of the ground, so that I can make allowances for the pond window here. So you'll basically be able to sit on this side and look down into the pond, and then I'll take you around to the other side now. This section here is essentially where I'm doing the filter room. So off the end of that larper there's a structure that I'm building coming more towards this side here. That is just smaller than a double garage. That is essentially the filtration room. So it juts out further than the pond itself, but it allows us then to put all the filtration into a separate room. From a frontal perspective, and I'm just walking around to show you how this is going to work. So this area here is going to be decking, and then in the center, roughly where those paving stones are, you'd have a 2 meter window that you can view into the pond itself. So that's a viewing window linked to like a little braai area with a deck for seating. So that's the nuts and bolts of it. It's 6 by 8 meters. So what's 6 by 8 is 48 times by 2, because it's 2 meters deep across the pond. And then I've got about 10,000 liters of moving bed filter in the filter chamber, and the whole thing is run off a 100,000 liter drum filter. So that's essentially the plan. I'm not sure if we're going to break ground properly this year, just because of builder's holiday, and I don't want to kind of stop and start. So we might be building next year and then essentially moving in next year as well. But it's so important that I get the pond right before we move in, and that it's set up and running and I can move my fish across. The cool thing is there's basically going to be views from the house to the pond. So any of the rooms that I'm in front, whether it's the TV room or the dining room, I can actually see the pond window from the house itself. Okay guys, so this is the rough diagram of the pond itself. There you can see the pond and the way that the filter chamber actually, or sorry, the filter room actually extends past the length of the pond, and is closer towards the house. Gives it a bit of shelter as well. In that square at the top right hand side is essentially where that braai larper is. I'm using 4 bottom drains in this pond. I've got 2 skimmers in place, and then essentially what I want to look at doing is having about 4 feedbacks to the pond itself. All of the protein skimmers, the bucky showers, everything else is sitting in that filtration room. So I'll do another video on the filtration room a bit later, but essentially it comes from those 4 bottom drains and from the 2 skimmers, goes into the back of the drum. There'll be 6 intakes into that drum itself, and then from there flows into the big moving bed filter. That's essentially what will be about an 8 to 10,000 litre moving bed filter, or moving bed chamber. It's just got coldness in it. You can see that's marked off in red. The pumps are in green next to it. The drum filter is in dark grey. So yeah, so that's the basic layout that I've got at the moment. That's the first video on the pond build. I think it gives you guys a good idea of what I'm doing, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing takes shape. So stay tuned for the next one. Thanks. Cheers.